Hello and good day to you. Today's footage is the last footage from 2024 that I have available, and what we're doing in it is attempting to make giant bubbles to play with the kids with at Christmas. And some things went well and some things didn't. The idea was sparked by a video that one of the YouTubers that I follow and enjoy watching his science type videos is NightHawkInLight. InLight. I'll put a link in the description. But he goes through how to extract DNA from strawberries and in turn use that to make giant bubbles. So I spent some time working through that, and I didn't get any footage of that because most of the time I didn't have a voice. I was sick, and his video goes through much more detail than I could have anyway. So what we're doing right now is trying to make some bubble wands. And there's definitely some things that we're wanting to improve, definitely some things we're wanting to change, and it's something we'll do probably at least occasionally throughout the year, and we'll keep making changes. But the important part was testing the bubbles, and so right here I've just got a quart jar, and I'm trying to see if I can make bubbles, and this is just the plain straight solution. So it's dish soap and baking powder, and there you go, almost got one there. The wind wasn't working cooperatively with us, and it kept trying to rain on and off as well. I was hoping it would work to experiment and test things on this particular day because the humidity was fairly high, which granted in western Washington is more common than not, but it was still kind of fun to just experiment and play with. So I tried a different wand, and that seemed to work a little bit better, but ultimately it just didn't seem to work with just the straight solution very well. And there were two different batches that I ended up with from different attempts at processing it. One of the batches, there we go. See, there's a pretty good sized little bubble. I mean, yeah, that was kind of a contradiction there. Sorry. But there, I got a little bit of the hang of it, and got a few bubbles out of that. So it was kind of working, at least a little bit. And that one actually lasted quite a while, floating off into the distance there. But it actually turned out to be a lot of fun to try and play with these. So the first batch, though, I tried. I watched the video a few days prior, and I was going off of memory, and I remember him mentioning something about blending the solution, so I mixed everything together. So I made the solution, mashed up the strawberries, and then added the alcohol to try and precipitate that out, and then I blended all of that, and I got a lot of stuff, and it never really dried very well. It stayed kind of oily, which was a little weird. So the second test that we'll use is that, and then the third test that I used was actually, I went back and redid everything and ended up following the instructions exactly and got a very different result. So I highly recommend that you actually pay attention and see there we got a couple of good bubbles out of that. Wow, that one That one actually really lasted a long time. Sadly, we actually did not get to do this at Christmas. We tried, but even here in the Pacific Northwest, it was just a little too cold. Up in Renton, where we were actually at. So we went out there, and the kids lasted about 5 minutes, and they were done. So now that it's warmer, maybe we might take this stuff up with us in a couple of weeks when we go visit again, and maybe spend some time and try again. Who knows? But the simple conclusion that we came to is that the regular bubble solution definitely was improved on, as you can see here, by having the strawberries. The third solution didn't really make any difference, and I ended up just combining all three. But what it boiled down to was largely that it wasn't worth the cost. I mean, if I'm going to go buy $30 in strawberries, I'd rather just go buy $30 in strawberries and make jam or syrup, or eat them just plain, or strawberry fruitcake or whatever. So this is I think this is the third blend, and it takes a little bit to get the wands kind of soaked, and the bigger wands didn't seem to work as well either. But the ultimate conclusion that we got was that it's just time-wise, cost-wise, it's far more effective to just go buy the J-Lube that he mentions in his videos. And I mean, it was a fun experiment, and if the kids ever wanted to try that on their, as another thing, just to do some science, I totally would do it again for that. But as far as the actual functionality and cost effectiveness, aside from that fun experiment side of it, I wouldn't want to try doing this on a regular basis. As far as just making the bubbles, because a thing of J-Lube powder is at the moment is like $16 on Amazon, and that'll make like 7-8 batches of bubble solution, versus spending $15 or $20 in strawberries, plus the cost of the alcohol to precipitate the DNA, and the dish soap to destroy the cell walls. So it just isn't a cost-effective method, but it was fun, and it was pretty cool to be able to say that I actually made these bubbles from strawberry DNA. And you can see here I'm really trying to figure out, the wind kept switching where it was coming from, and so I would turn around and try and let the wind help with that. We ended up making some changes in the how the ropes are tied, which that actually made a big difference, and Emily was able to get quite a few good bubbles. And it was kind of funny that Charlie thought this was a game, and so he was enjoying trying to figure out how he could play with Emily. So anyway, that's about it for the footage for this day. I didn't I mentioned this in a previous video, but I apologize, I just didn't get very much stuff done that was worth recording after coming down with whatever that respiratory virus was. This is one of the rare days during December where I actually felt up to going out and doing stuff. So, but it was a fun experiment. Next set of footage that we've got is we're gonna jump forward to pretty much the end of February, and I'll get started working on that spare room trailer again. As of today, we've got some insulation in, we've got some concrete in, and I've already started on some of the tile work so we can get that wood stove in place. But that's where we're at, and that's where we're headed. So thank you as always for watching. God bless you and yours, and stay safe out there.